Only if people keep pressure on. All right. Oh, Nifet, is that Nicolette? Nicolette, are you in my chat? Or is Nifet somebody else? I don't know people's handles like as like real people. So I know a few of you. Okay, it's not. Cool. Sick. All right, so I'm gonna move on. So let's start with like my biggest issue with this statement. When you get caught doing a bad, you have a couple of options you can do, right? So one of them is you can immediately say, this is bad, right? Now, for those of you who follow political discourse in the United States, this is one of the things that we like hold Trump really accountable to, right? Is that it's not that like eventually he says he disavows the Proud Boys or QAnon or white supremacy. It's the fact that like when you put his feet to the fire, his first instinct is to like not. And then after he gets like put through the ringer a bit about it, that's when he makes a statement, right? Now, to be clear, I understand that they have a legal team and they have to figure out what the best way to say something is, but without even addressing the screenshot that Ricky Hayashi tweeted out, you could just make a tweet that says, we are aware of a screenshot going around the Discord. Can we take a sec to it? Wait, where's my camera? I'm missing a nail because I have an infection on one of my fingers. Kind of gross. But they could have easily just made it a statement, and even if they didn't want to address them specifically, they could say, "We have heard." Actually, let me put my diversity and inclusion consultant brain on, my media trainer brain on. I'm the MTG Judge Academy, by the way. Oh, sorry, just Judge Academy. We have been made aware of hurtful and harmful language that seems to have occurred within our official Judge Academy Discord. While we cannot go into the particulars of how we are handling that situation, we would like to unequivocally state that actions like this, let's use their own language, prejudiced remarks, jokes, or insults based on race, color, religion, national origin, age, gender, disability, or sexual orientation are absolutely not welcome in the Judge Academy community, and instances of this on our platforms will be dealt with when they occur. You shouldn't be getting feedback because I literally, like my sound is going to my headphones and the microphone is this one. You guys can't see it right now. A touch of feed. I can't. I'm gonna be real with y'all. This is not my usual stream setup. I usually use a computer that's over here. A lot of audio peaking. I'm also a loud black person. How's that? Is that better? How about this? We better now? We better now? You have to remember I'm loud and my microphone isn't the best. We good now? Look, guys, if it's feedback, I don't know where it's coming from because my like I don't know where the feedback would be coming from. I'm sorry. I should have did a test stream, but I really wanted to talk about this stuff, so I didn't. Like I said, I'm not a professional streamer. Apologies. I will try to be better in the future. But thank you all for giving me feedback. Feedback is great, and I love it, except for the audio feedback. Anyway, that statement that I just like put out, that's like the easiest thing that they could have done. That doesn't really necessarily say that like they've caused a problem, but they're aware that something is being attributed to them. and that they don't agree with it, right? I think we're all on the same page that like that's a pretty easy way that they could have gone about this, without even like super having to involve their legal team. It has been made aware to me by more than a few sources that there is no diversity or inclusivity officer on the Judge Academy board. I think that's a little sus. But yeah, that I think number one, I think the first thing that they messed up was I don't know anything about the Judge Academy Discord because I didn't join the Discord. I like as soon as they announced the Judge Academy program, I was broke, and I was like, I'm not paying $100 a year to be a judge, to judge FNMs, right? I can judge FNMs with or without my L1, right? So, I have no idea how their Discord functions, but I will say this. If it's the official Judge Academy Discord, I'm gonna venture a guess that like low ballpark, there's at least 200 members in their Discord. Which means, not well? What do you mean not well? Autumn, what do you mean by not well? Is it more than, it's more than 200? Yeah, I don't need an accurate number. This is just like a ballpark. Oh, how the Discord is managed is not well. See, folks, we got the insider details here. But let's, for hypothetical sake, say that they have like 200 members in the Discord, right? I talk about this a lot. If any of you see me on panels lately talking about how to make esports and gaming a more diverse and safe space, one of the things that you have heard me talk about is how important robust moderation teams are. And in this situation, this is literally like I need to like save all of this for the next time I'm on a panel or I'm giving a talk, because this is legitimately why having mod teams is really important. Because if they had a robust mod team that had moderator shifts and like they really thought about like things that were and were not okay, that post would have been made. A mod would have been looking at the chat, and that post would have been gone. Done. Like, just wouldn't have happened, right? There would have never been an opportunity unless Ricky Hayashi immediately screenshotted it the second it went up. You would have never heard about this. And yes, there'd be an endemic problem, right? That like this type of content was put in the Discord in the first place, that someone who is a judge thought that this was an okay form of humor, and we can have a whole conversation about that, which we probably will today. But at the very base, with a robust mod team, this like should never have happened, right? About 2,000 members? Yo! Alright, y'all take dues? Y'all take dues and you can't pay like a mod team like a couple dollars to like be on shift? One second, chat. Chat, one second. While I drink, I'm gonna crack open a 9-pin cucumber lime light edition. 9-pin, y'all know I love you. Where's the sponsorship at? 9-pin. As I spill it everywhere too. It is delicious. It is cucumber lime apple cider. Cheers. right, chat. My mind is blown. All right, so let's actually be like super serious for a second. We all know, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who are like my Twitter followers about esports, but they've heard about this and they want to hear me talk about like diversity stuff. Every judge in the in the Judge Academy has to pay a yearly due based on their judge level. Level 1s pay 100, level 2s pay 200, level 3s pay 300, and the sort of, besides being in the judge program, because you paid your dues, you get a packet of foils once a year that are given to the judges, and you get a number of packets based on what level you are. So if you're level 1, 1 packet, 2, 2, 3, 3, right? Really simple. Level 3s pay 400. Fuck that. That's whack. Anyway, so they get a playset. That's kind of sick. But not the point. The general point, chat, if I'm saying anything factually untrue about the about the Judge Academy, Cook the Fourth, who is in the chat, will be doing the live fact checking, because I need someone to do live fact checking. Yep. So look at what Cook the Fourth is. No. But Autumn, there are people who did pay already, unless they reimbursed everybody who paid already, because people paid last October. The 2021 dues were waived. The initial dues were paid. So they are refunding the initial dues that were paid on. Wait, Higgins, hold up. But that's what I'm saying. The first set of dues were paid. I have no idea where that money went. And one of my biggest complaints of the Judge Academy, when they said that they were going to start taking dues because they were going to be a privatized institution and they were going to be looking into judging other games, was that there was no communication about whether or not there would be transparency about where this money was going. So we have no idea if it's like going into a fund to like pay for their lawyers. I have no idea if it was just like all went to filing fees. We don't know anything, and this is where like not having transparency when you're a very public-facing institution like this is a little weird. And I know that like exactly. I'm well aware that because they're an LLC, they don't have to be transparent. I'm saying that one of the downsides of going from a volunteer-based system, no money involved, to what we have now is that you are going to get asked this stuff. Someone did the math, the number of judges, if you assume. Oh wow, that's insane. I didn't know that. Yo, chat is just dropping the facts on me today, and I just don't know how to handle it. But let's not like get overburdened on the money part, okay? Because that's not really the point of the conversation. The crux of what I'm talking about is yeah. All right. So let's pretend. Let's stop talking about money. No, because I don't know anything and I don't want to like speculate. I want to talk about like things that I'm super versed in. So you have a 2,000 person Discord, right? We are aware of behaviors that exist in the Magic community, especially as judges, right? The broader community can like pretend or try to hash out whether or not our community has like toxic influences, but like we as judges who have interacted with a large amount of the player base know, right, by giving out unsporting conduct, major and minor violations at tournaments, that like we have shitty people in the community. That's just a fact. As judges, we know this. As a former judge, I know this. I'm giving out generously maybe like 70 unsporting conduct minor violations in my 4 years as a comp rel judge. So I've judged a numerous amount of I judged 7 Grand Prix, 10, 15 PTQs, a handful of PPTQs, and some number of TCG Player 5Ks and 2 Star City Opens. Right? So, like, take that information as you want, that over 4 years, roughly 100 events, I gave out 70 unsporting conduct minors. I'd also like to point out, this is 70 of the new unsporting conduct minor, which actually matters. The old unsporting conduct minor was trash. It was just a no. So anyway, so we as judges know that there are toxic parts of the community. So when making a Discord server, where's the mod team? Now, if I'm being told that there's no moderation team, no like actual dedicated mod team, that's real bad. You cannot be a public Discord server that's the official server for the judicators of a community. Yeah, that's not getting it for me. The mod team is the 3 pro staff. Yeah, it's not getting it for me. You can't have 3 people moderate a Discord of 2,000 people. That's not how that works. My Discord of like less than 200 people has 9 mods. My old Discord, right? The Untitled Esports Discord that I used to run with Jacob Wolf. We have 7 mods for 500 people, which is still probably not great, but because of the way, especially at its peak, we had mods that were up at all time zones, so we caught shit pretty quickly. Maybe, like, probably not quick enough to catch what happened and did not get screenshotted, but like, we had a mod team. 3 people for... No, honey. Now, here's a real question. Because in case some of you guys don't understand, because I don't want to like preach to the choir too much. I want to like talk about stuff that maybe some of y'all don't necessarily get. But do any of you do you all understand why it's important to have like a robust mod team, right? That like works on shifts, all of that. Do I have to go over this? Give me Kappa Prides in the chat if you already understand why robust mod teams are important. Give me Kappa Prides in the chat. Because I'm not a psychic. I need y'all help. Alright. Now, I'm gonna take this because it's not the whole chat. So I'm gonna take this as an opportunity. Alright, cool. Alright, we got like a decent representation of the chat who understands it. But you know what? I'm gonna do y'all a favor. We're just gonna go over this real quickly. So, your friend Discord, right? You probably gave some people moderation powers, or maybe you didn't. Do you know why it doesn't matter if you have a mod in there? Because like it's an understand community of like social norms because you cultivated your community, right? So the social contract that you agree to in certain situations is universal to everyone in your Discord. So there doesn't need to be a whole lot of conversation about rules. There doesn't have to be a whole lot of conversation about what is appropriate and what is inappropriate humor, because all of you theoretically are friends in some shape or form and therefore hold the same social values in the way that they interact, in the way that you all interact with each other. Perfect, great, right? Let's take it a step further. All right, let's say you're in Discord for like your chemistry class, right? that has like more than your friend Discord. That Discord still doesn't necessarily need a mod team or too much information about rules because it's an extension of your school, and so your understanding of like what's appropriate and inappropriate, because it's essentially your classroom, is still intact, right? You're still adhering, all of you, to the same social norms, and also anything that potentially could be interpreted as inappropriate or even just maybe too memey wouldn't be put in the chat anyway, because again, it's an extension of your school setting. We all on the same page? Can I keep going? Am I talking too fast? I know I do the New Yorker thing where I talk real quick. So, whenever I ask those type of questions, just Kappa Pride me. We'll have an emote one day, I swear. But for right now, Kappa Pride me if I can keep talking. I'm going to keep talking anyway. Alright, so now let's take it a step even further. Let's say you are the Yu-Gi-Oh! Judge Discord. Let's pretend that the Judge Academy doesn't exist. Right? So we are the Yu-Gi-Oh! Judge Discord. Alright. Now, this is where things get a little iffy, right? Because we're not an official arm of any... Actually, let's not say the Yu-Gi-Oh! Judge. Let's say we're the Wizarding School of Judges, right? So we are an unaffiliated Judge Discord of 4,000 people, right? We're not really... We're not really affiliated with any specific game. We don't have any specific rule sets, right? Maybe we have a loose code of conduct, but for the most part, we're all 4,000 individualistic people, with the exception that we all like to judge children's card games. I'm sorry, children's card games. So, why is server rules, dedicated mod team, all of that important in those settings? Well, it's real simple. Remember what we talked about with the first two examples, where there's like a sort of concrete social contract? Well, that works only in small settings, right? It barely works at your local game store, right? We have probably all experienced some type of asshole at our game store, or multiple assholes, and one of the things that we can't always attribute for is them just behaving in the store because they're assholes, right? So, it's kind of similar in this 4,000 person Discord. Why? Because everybody has different lived experiences. Different lived experiences means that things that are appropriate for one person isn't necessarily appropriate for another person. So, like, I might talk about my balls being really itchy in front of Steve, one of my mods here. And because we've had previous conversations, I know that that's okay to say in front of him, right? But I haven't had a ton of conversations with Autumn, so I probably should not say that in front of her, right? I think that's like pretty understandable. And so this is where different lived experiences, different levels of comfort clash in digital spaces, and also real spaces, but we're talking about digital right now. So you need a robust rule set, one, so that people all aren't just assuming a social construct, they are engaging in a official social contract. So nobody is shocked or confused when they get in trouble for doing something. Because even if, like I said, I don't know anything about the Judge Academy, but I'm going to assume that they use the same code of conduct that the Judge program implemented 4 or 5 years ago. I'm assuming it's some extension of that. If that's not clearly stated in the Discord, people tend to think that like Discords, even if they're extensions of other programs, aren't necessarily extensions of those programs. In layman's, they think that this is the casual Friday night bar setting of that thing that they're a part of, unless it's explicitly stated otherwise. So you need to, as a 4,000 person server that represents judicators, right, need to make that explicit. Because those of us who may be judges, this is good shit, please pay Amanda for her work and emotional labor, pay for your tuition. Thank you for that donation. But let me get back on track. Like, I'm not great at this streamer thing. I'm trying. Um, you need to make it as explicit as possible that everybody is following the same rule set. So nobody is shocked or surprised when they get in trouble for something, and they won't necessarily take getting in trouble as an extension of who they are as a person versus who you are as a person, but instead they will take it as an extension of what they did as an action versus what is acceptable in the space. That is why rules, store policies, code of conducts, all of that type of stuff, the IPG, all of that stuff is really important for keeping people at least level-headed. Now, people might argue semantics of like what if it's like an edge case, but for the most part, when people have a rule set they're supposed to follow, they understand that and they work alongside that rule set. As judges who have I know I have a lot of judges in the chat. I also know that I have a lot of Magic players in the chat right now. You all know that there is a very vocal majority in the judge community that loves corner cases and loves to argue semantics. Kappa Prides, if you agree with me. So we know that we cannot leave people to their own devices and self-policing. So that was a really long first point, but it had to be said. Part 2 of why robust mod teams are important. Robust mod teams make sure that when bad things happen, they minimize the amount of harm it does not only to your server, but to the image people have of your server. So, how do I say this in English? All right. Let's pretend that penises are unacceptable in all spaces, right? But some people find penises funny. So people like to share pictures of, like, let's not even say literal biological dick. We're talking like phallic-like images. So, like a penis sandcastle, all right? Look, I'm a big fan of phallic sandcastles. I think they're works of art, but there's a time and a place. But for the sake of argument, let's just say that, like, universally, most people think phallic sandcastles are not okay. So somebody, let's say Higgins. Sorry, friend. I like to use examples in my. I like to use actual names that people can grasp on. Fine. You know who would do this? Tezzeret. Tezzeret is in the Discord. Tezzeret just saw this magnificent 13-foot phallic sandcastle on Twitter. And Tezzeret thinks it's the funniest thing. It is. There is no way that this is not comedic gold. It just has to be, right? If he's cracking up, everyone's going to crack up from it. So Tezzeret posts that in our wizarding judge school. Okay. Bye, Steve. Thanks for being yeah. So Tezzeret pushed that in the Discord. Now remember, we're in a world where, like, no matter the vast majority of people don't find this funny. They don't think it's humorous. They don't even see the artistic design, the sheer architectural might of making a 13-foot sandcastle. Just no appreciation. Now there are two things that can happen, right? With no mod team, that just stays up until other people see it. Right? That just stays up. Eventually somebody who owns the server sees it. They're like, dear God, this is bad. I've got to click the delete button. Right? And we have no idea how many people see it. We have no idea how many people are offended. We don't know if other people are sharing it around, being like, look at this shit that's happening in the official Discord server. It gets shared by a prominent member of our community on Twitter. Everybody's in an outrage. Rightfully so, right? Penis sandcastles are terrible. And guess what? We have now done a bad. Whether or not we think we are good people, whether or not we think we're a well-meaning program, whether or not we don't stand for this, for 36 hours, it has been purported that we have a huge problem because this humor is acceptable. Have I lost you in my phallic analogy? Are we still here? I am so sorry. We're still here? Alright, good. I apologize. I swear there's a point. I promise. I promise there's a point. Alright, so Autumn, I was about to give you a sword. I don't know if I should give you a sword anymore. But no. So now we're in a conundrum, right? Everybody's talking about how we approve of this abhorrent, strictly objectifiable bad thing because we've allowed this image to sit on our server for more than an acceptable amount of time, right? Obviously, Discord doesn't have robust auto modification when it comes to things like images, and it doesn't actively scan images to tell whether or not they're appropriate or inappropriate. That's all mods. So, by leaving this up, we are, in a way, promoting it. We are saying it's good, it's fine, it's funny, right? It's funny. We got 12 laugh reacts. It's great. It's cool. We're all fine with it, right? Doesn't matter that as a society, we're not big on penis sandcastles. Here in the judge server, penis sandcastles are cool, right? Q explosions, sunglasses come down, the plays, blood falls down in our mouth. It's a great time. It's not a great time. It's pretty bad. Now, let's take my robust mod team idea. Wild concept, I know. Pepe hands, how could this ever work? You have a robust mod team of... So you have 2,000 members across multiple time zones. I would like a 20-person mod team total. 20. I think 20 is a good number here. It's 10%. No. It's 10 per... No, fuck. I don't know how to do math. 1%. I'm a journalism major, chat! I'm sorry! Chat, this is why I write for a living and talk to people. I'm sorry I failed you. I am too gay to math. Correct, Autumn. Math is for blockers? My chat is great. Anyway, on point. Let's say we have a 20-person mod team. In that 20-person mod team, we try to represent as many time zones as possible, and not necessarily strictly time zones, but we try to make sure as much as possible that we can cover the 24 hours in the day. This mod team, after they've been trained, compensated for their training and their time, they are around at 2 a.m. when Tezzeret popped into the server, planes walked in, and posted that penis sandcastle. And they go, "Not on my watch, no dick today." And they delete the picture. And one of the cool things, for those of you who have never moderated a Discord server, there's still an audit of what happens. The moderator who deletes it makes note of it in the moderator chat. The moderators discuss how grave of a situation this is. Let's say for some reason inappropriate images was never discussed in training, but you have a robust mod team that went through training. So they're able to discuss the situation, look at the current rules. Maybe they have to make an addendum to the rules. And once they've done all of that and explained to the community while there was changes to the rules, they then reach out to Tezzeret and they say, hey buddy, you know, maybe what you did was not against the letter of our rules, and maybe even not against the spirit of our rules. However, as a community, we've decided that this behavior is unacceptable. We're going to put you on probation. One of the great things about Discord is you can give privileges specifically to a singular person. So maybe you take away his image posting privileges, right? And you say you are on probation for 30 days. You are no longer allowed to post images in the Discord. Further violations of the rules it will be met with further penalization based on the penalization that we've already laid forth in our robust code of conduct that we have placed in our Discord server. Tezzeret's mad, but there's nothing he can do. And so he has two options. He follows the rules, or he leaves the Discord. But you know what doesn't happen in this situation? Chat, anybody want to guess what doesn't happen with a robust mod team? Anybody? I will give you... Correct. You're right, D-Sports. 11 reacts. Shit doesn't stay up for hours. Anybody else? No Twitter storm? Man, wouldn't these all be real great for the Judge Academy right now? Like, wouldn't any of this be better? Or am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. What are some free emotes? I don't know. I'm subbed to a lot of people, so I have a lot of emotes. What are some normal emotes? Where the fuck are the regular people emotes? I don't know. Give me salt. Give me PJ Salt if you think I'm just straight up crazy. Give me PJ Salts if you think I'm just crazy and my ideas on how to handle this are just whack. The sugar, yo, who has a sugar emo? I am, man, chat, I need to become a real streamer so we just have based emotes all the time. Oh, we've got one. Wait, is that actually PJ Salt? Did I really get hit with a PJ Salt? Soda, you think I'm crazy? You think my idea wouldn't work? Based. Alright, PJ Sugar is global? Let's go. Alright, Soda. Let's diverge from talking about this for a little bit. Soda, what part of having a robust mod team do you not agree with for solving? The second I asked for a clarification, it has been removed. Alright, good. I don't have to re-explain the moderator. Analogy. No, PJ Salt is, until I have emotes, is the global Amanda, you were off on your analysis, and Kappa Pride, because gays are too powerful, is the response for you agree with me. Those are the two options. You either disagree with me and you're a salt baby, so PJ Salt, or I guess a trans woman because estrogen, but like let's just say because they're a salt baby. And Kappa Pride is because gays are too powerful, and I'm obviously right because I'm gay. All right, so this part of the stream has already explained how this problem literally could have just been prevented, right? Now, the existence of a judge like Tezzeret is still a problem. Don't get me wrong. Tezzeret being a judge and thinking that things like this are okay is still is still an issue, right? I'm not saying that there's no race problem in the judge community. I'm not saying that there is no discrimination issues in the judge program. All right, that's not what I'm saying. That this mod and this this posted code of conduct. I'm not saying any of that, right? Takes away from the fact that there is some problems within the judge program. I will also say, if you think that a non-friend community that you're a part of doesn't have a race or any form of discrimination problem, you're wrong. Not everybody thinks the same way. Right? If this was true, if this was true, right? What was that? Planet Penguin would allow you to have regular chat, right? If this was true, Pokemon Go would allow you to actually talk to people, right? Like through the app. But we know it's not true because we can't have nice things in every game. Fair, maybe. But I think we get where I'm coming from on this. Is that, like, at minimum, this all could have been prevented if they had sat down and maybe even talked to Discord. So, for example, Discord reached out to Trans Lifeline when Trans Lifeline was going to start doing more streaming about giving them mods. Like, specifically, Discord personnel from the community team working as mods for the Trans Lifeline server until they develop their own mod system. Imagine having the forethought and using your experiences as judges to go, there's some toxicity in the Magic community, and we're making an open Discord, and not only that, we know that there is problems within the judge community. Let's not pretend that we've never had a problem with a judge before. We've never had a judge penalized for misconduct. So why, in all that is holy, I am a religious person, why, in all that is holy, did they ever think that not having a mod team was a good idea? Chad, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. And it's not even that I'm upset because I'm disillusioned. Yeah, but like, memes aside, right? Having a robust Discord server or not, like, that has nothing to do with the dues. There are plenty of large Discords that don't pay their mods, but what they do is they make, especially with a server that's gonna have like 2,000 people, I would not be surprised if you weren't paying them if you had a mod team of like 100 people. Nefet, I definitely agree with that statement. Koopa Troopa, probably an overinflated sense of the morals of their members. 100%. 100%. Not even a... Cap and prize for Koopa Troopa. That is some real shit right there. Judges have always thought that they are on the right side of everything. Oh wow, I lost a ton of viewers. But yeah, no, just straight up, that's obviously the truth, right? That's part of the truth of the matter, is that judges, to an extent, have an overinflated thought of their ability to suss out right from wrong. But if that was true, our unsupported conduct minor and major policies wouldn't have been complete ass until I started saying shit about it. So don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. Alright, now let me think about this. So we've addressed how we could have prevented this. We addressed how they could have addressed this immediately. Alright, chat. Chat, straight up. What? Sorry, I'm thirsty. I've been talking a lot. Drinking my official 9-pin light cider cucumber lime edition. Hashtag not sponsored. So chat, real talks. Do you want me to address what their next steps should be? Give them some free diversity and inclusion consulting? Is that, chat, do you want that? Remember, PJ Salts for no, Kappa Pride for yes. Chat, do you want me... Can you address their response statement? What do you mean, Nefet? Actually, exclamation point, Discord. That's not my Twitch chat. Sick. Nefet, if you have a mic and if you feel comfortable, you can hop in the Discord, and I have a voice channel called Call In. So if you would like to join my Discord and hop in the Call In, you can explain to me what you mean by that, because I thought I addressed some stuff. So if you could hop into the Call-In channel, greatly appreciated, and I can get a better understanding of what you're asking for. It's in voice channels underneath what is the exchange. You are currently muted. What's up? Wait, I cannot hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Ah, okay, give me a second. I also need to mute this stream so that I don't hear you. I don't hear everything double.
That's totally valid.
I guess my question was, once the behavior had come to light and had become part of the public discourse, and, you know, Ricky shared it and there was all these tweets about it, I guess my question is whether you think the Judge Academy's public response was adequate, and if not, what it could have been that would have.
Sure. All right. You can hop out now. I got it. My brain. I have the download. I'm no longer smooth brained. I have wrinkles. All right, chat. So, what do I think? On a scale from 1 to 10, how do I grade this actual announcement? I'd give it a 4. I'd give it a 4, maybe a 5. And the reason I give it like a 4 or a 5, as opposed to like, you know, 1, 2, negative, 0, all of that stuff, is pretty easy. So it addresses the situation that occurred, why it was bad, how it doesn't match their values, that they have a clear course of action that they want to take, that they're investigating the situation. Like, it hits all of the like basics of the notes that you would want in the situation, right? We want them to say, right, that this is bad, right? We want them to unequivocally say, that image is unacceptable. People finding it funny is unacceptable. People commenting and agreeing with it is unacceptable. They said that, right? Thumbs up. Sorry, I'm used to my camera like being over here. Now it's here. So thumbs up. You've done the good. Next, they have said that this type of behavior across any instance, right? Like they went pretty deep on like things that can be persecuted. We're not about. Thumbs up. They said that they're holding an investigation and that they are looking into course of action. I can go down the line. There, as a skeleton of a statement, this is 10 out of 10. Great skeleton. But you need more than a skeleton to like walk, talk, interact with the world. I hear being a living, breathing human being requires, I don't know, a muscle system, a circulatory system, a nervous system, skin. I hear skin's really important. All that, right? And so as a skeleton, that's part of the circulatory system. You're not going to get me on this chat. Chat, I might be bad at math, but basic biology as a trans person, I am. Got it, I swear. All right, so I will get to you in a second, Koopa Troopa. I just want to finish this point. So like as a very base response, this hits all of the marks that you need to address. You need to address what happened. You need to say that it was bad. You need to say that behavior like this is bad. You need to say that you are looking into addressing the actual situation and potentially penalizing those involved. You need to say that what your process may be like in the future. You need to say all of those things. The problem is that you can do all of that, but that's not really helpful, right? So maybe I'm in teacher rubric mode for a second, but I'm thinking on a 1 to 4 scale where 3 meets standards and 4 exceeds, I could see this as a 2. Yeah, so basically just like multiply your rubric to 10, and we're operating off of a very similar rubric, right? I think that like we're operating off of the same rubric. I just account for 6 more points than you do. Right? I think that's like I'm also a teacher, so that's why like I wouldn't just straight up fail this, right? If someone submitted this to me in a press class, I wouldn't fail them. So like that's it. Like, you wouldn't get a 0 for handing this in. I could see myself giving you a 50. I could never see myself giving you a 60. And I could see an argument where if a student argued about getting a 40, that I could give them a 50. But I would never go above a 50. So that's just like where we're at right now. So let's break down the nature of each thing. So one thing, and this is the journalist in me, I don't know what their style guide is, but I would never capitalize card. That's just me. I would never capitalize the word card. That's just weird. I'm gonna put this in the chat because it's been a while since it was last linked. So let's start from the beginning. A post was made last night in the Judge Academy Discord server sharing a racist alteration of a Magic card. That's fine. So far, 10 out of 10. Right? If we're breaking this down section by section. Because we can't really break it down paragraph by paragraph because there's a lot of points, there's a lot of different things that can be created within these individual paragraphs. So we're gonna go like sentence by sentence. All right. Regrettably, a number of people engaged with this content positively before its problematic nature was pointed out. I potentially would have stated that it was not pointed out in the server. That it was pointed out on Twitter, right? I think being kind of vague here makes it seem like internally in the server, people were not about it. But that's not what happened. I think you should be as forward as you can be, without referencing specific people, right? I think that this muddles some of the truth of the situation a little bit too much for my personal comfort, but I can see from a PR and legal standpoint why it's done this way. I'm still not giving full marks on this sentence. We were made aware of the issue early this afternoon, at which point the original post had already been removed. So this post went up yesterday? Huh. I was under the impression this post went up today. Because it did not cross my feed on any front until today. So maybe sorry, I'm reading a message from Bears. Right? Oh, it was last night? Thanks, David. Yeah, I had a feeling like this did not go up that quickly. Huh. Okay, let me continue. Sorry, I got distracted by what Bears typed to me privately. I'm not going to read that out loud, but it clarifies some things for me. Sorry, I have to regain my train of thought. Shortly thereafter, the poster apologized to the channel. Alright. Our admins removed additional shares or likes with the artwork and then gathered to discuss what happened. Okay. So let's go back to that previous sentence where it was made aware to us early this afternoon, at which point the post had already been removed. Removed by who? I think that's really important. Because with no facts, remember, no facts, not on the mod team, not an admin, not part of the Discord, not involved. When I read something like this, it makes me think that potentially the original poster saw the tweet, maybe didn't want to get in trouble. But it would be nice to just know, right, that who removed it, because I think that says a lot about the situation. Kappa Prides? I'm going to keep talking, but I just want to know if people are like on the same page with me, that it would have been nice to know who removed it. And if you don't understand why it's important to know who removed it, we can talk about that. I will let somebody else call in if they think that it was important. They don't understand why it's important to know who removed it. We'll get to that. All right, we can get to that if somebody thinks that way. Just put a message in the chat or in the Discord, and I promise we'll get to it. Cool. Our admins removed additional shares or links with the artwork and then gathered to discuss what happened. This is fine. I don't need to know what that means. I don't care about your admin channel. I don't really need to know details on how that conversation went. Shortly thereafter, the poster apologized to the channel. That I do want to know about. Similarly to like why I want to know who removed it, did the poster independently apologize? What was the apology? Did you, a representative of the admin team, Thanks, Higgins. Y'all can read the chat. Jeff kind of gives a timeline of events. This doesn't really change how I feel. I want to know who removed. They removed their own post, so see, like, that's important. It's extreme. I think a lot of this information that you've put in the timeline is important to the statement. And the reason for that is that the message that I'm getting is that there was a discourse in the Discord about why this was bad. Yeah. Exactly. I was going to get to that. I had a feeling. It is important when making these statements to talk about how the community felt about the post as well as how you, the mods, felt about the post. This is like really vague and ambiguous as to like why it was taken down, who took it down, what was the temperature of the Discord about the post, and then finally, I don't know if I would consider this apology sincere. I'm starting to realize that like the pink light of my lamp is giving me this like really cute like pink base makeup look. Like it looks like I have some pink eyeshadow and some like pink blush going on. I'm wearing no makeup. But thank you, Autumn. You will get a sword, I promise. Probably not today because I don't know how to do that through Streamlabs, but you'll get a sword. But back to my point, if I was to rate the first paragraph, my student, if they can only get a 10, they're at a 7. They are very, very clearly at a 7 now, just on that first paragraph. I think there's a lot of obfuscating of the facts. I think there is just a lack of detail and nuance. And overall, there's just a lot of uncomfort I have over this. There's just some things that aren't really vibing with me, right? And so it's because of this that you've already lost 3 points on your release. I'm just not, there's just a whole lot of things that just like aren't connecting with me right now. And again, if you all don't understand why that is, again, when I'm done, we can talk about it later. But at this moment, just understand that they've already lost 3 points out of 10 on this first paragraph, which means we are not in a great place to pass this exam. We're just not. Second paragraph, I'm not going to read it again. It's fine if there's like legality and procedural reasons why they're not going to go into too much detail. Honestly, it could have been a minor situation and they made this post and I wouldn't have expected any. The second paragraph is fine. We have not lost any further points. We are still at 7 of 10. Ugh. Much like unsporting conduct at a tournament, someone taking inappropriate actions without intending malice or harm does not excuse harmful behavior. Judges who unintentionally create harmful or unwelcoming situations will be educated and warned and are expected to show remorse for the hurt and damage caused. Even then, those instances will be documented and repeat occurrences will be treated more severely. We have lost 3 more points on this. Like, we're at a 4. We are now at the 4 that I talked about. This is where, this paragraph, if this we'll do this, right? We'll do this. If this paragraph didn't exist, full stop, this student would pass. With like a 6. Because missing this paragraph is kind of a big deal. But if this paragraph, word for word, did not exist, a 6. Because I'd be like, you're obfuscating the truth, right? Like there's like stuff that might, I asked for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I got like a sandwich with like a peanut and like 3 grapes on it. Yeah, right? That's the thing, JJ. That's actually how I feel. I honestly feel like this paragraph literally Like they just like they messed up in paragraph 1, but they like in the second quarter, you know, put up some good defense, and then Jeff, stop. Chat, I'll be back. Give me a second. Oh boy, was not expecting that. So, has in the first half, kind of. But no, seriously. I don't even need somebody to call in for me to prompt me to explain why this is so bad. All right, I'm just gonna do it. Get these old lady bones cracking. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, y'all can't hear it, but I can hear the wonderful cracking of my spine. Be ready to clip this. I'm gonna do this as quickly as possible, but it should be long, not too long for a clip. Be ready. All right. Cool. We talked about unspoken conduct. That's fine. Most people who are reading this are people who are aware of the IPG, what unspoken conduct means. So it gives us a framework of where we're working. Great. Here's the problem. When we're talking about the IPG, we know, right, when you break the IPG, what the penalization is, right? When you do drawing extra cards versus, you know, slow play, right? We know in the IPG, it's clearly stated why anything is bad. You know, we're given examples, and then we're also told what our punishment is. Cool, great, we're all on the same page. So, here's the problem. This doesn't tell us anything about the situation. Nothing. Stole fizzy lifting drinks. Good day, sir. There's just nothing. Nothing about this statement says anything about what happens when you do something like this. And I am very, 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 very sorry when your racism in your Discord chat becomes a Twitter storm that it did, where there's a bunch of people chiming in, and there's people talking about it on Facebook, and there's people talking about it in the Discord, and other Discords, and other communities. Guess what? You don't get to say, we're not going to tell you what the punishment is anymore. I would actually argue that USC minor. It is no different than wearing an inappropriate t-shirt. This would not be USC major at all. Not even close. This is a hill I will die on, as somebody who like worked pretty heavily on the way USC minor and major is currently. I will die on this hill. This is minor. I think it's really, really bad. Don't get me wrong, but it's minor. By like the strictest spirit and letter of it is minor. It is not minor as in minor, USC minor. So minor. I think there's greater context in like the digital space as to why this could be major, but no, at a physical tournament, if somebody wore this on a t-shirt, I would say, hey man, or hey fam, please turn your shirt inside out. And they would turn their shirt inside out, or they would refuse to, at which point I would then get the head judge. We could bring this up to major, because now that it's been explained to them, now they are doing it as an active form of harm, and in that case, then we can upgrade it to major. I'm pretty comfortable that there were head judges that would understand this argument for me, but physically just wearing this shirt is not major. But that's not really the point. But thank you for bringing it up, because I do like talking about nuance when it comes to these things. And I sometimes skip over nuance when I'm trying to make like pretty quick points. Yeah, no problem. Judges. So The worst part of this sentence is actually the fact of them comparing it to something in the IPG, because we don't have an outcome. I think that if they just said that, just like behavior like this is unacceptable in a tournament setting, we definitely hold the same standards to our judges in digital spaces. There's still a little bit of hot water going on there, but I think overall, if they just said, similar to when we were in live tournament settings, we hold people to a similar standard in digital spaces, I'm a little bit more okay with not telling me what's going on. I think the lack of that information here, when you have compared it to something that we know what the outcome is for the behavior, I think is really bad, because it sets an expectation that we're going to understand what is going on further, and we don't, right? I don't think any of us really understand what's happening. I'm going to skip over this second sentence about judges who are unintentionally. I want to be very clear. I think that this is, I understand that for the individual involved, that this is a very fair representation of what occurred. However, I think italicizing unintentional is giving too much credit to that individual and the harm that was caused, right? Because we don't know intention, and I think judges forget that when it comes to breaking the rules of Magic, it is pretty easy to figure out intention, right? When people are breaking rules, like when we're doing investigations for cheating, right? Where the burden of proof for cheating is, do they know they are breaking the rules? And if so, do they understand that they are knowingly and willingly doing so, right? And we can prove that in an investigation. We cannot prove intent in a situation like this. It's just very difficult, right? Especially if, and I would be very shocked, especially if we haven't completed that investigation. In the span that this post went up, in the span that the initial post went up on the Discord, and this post went up, I am highly doubtful that a complete and thorough investigation happened, considering that when we do post-tournament investigations, those can take weeks. Kappa Prides, judges, we all know what I'm talking about right now? We all know about investigations and how they work? Cool. So, if you don't understand how investigations work, again, once I finish this section, you can hop into the Discord, you can go into the call-in chat, and we can talk about it so that you can understand. But for right now, we're just going to assume, make an ass out of you and me, that we all understand how investigations work. And so the idea that we're trying to reinforce that this situation was an unintentional thing, I think is kind of insulting to everybody involved. Exactly. So you can't say something unintentionally happened. Even if you think that this, in general, you were talking about broad behavior, you were referring to a specific incident for this post. And therefore, you cannot say unequivocally that this is unintentional. Because, at the very base, you made the post. You saw the post, you thought it was funny, you thought other people in the judge community would also find it funny, and so you posted it in the Discord. So there is something wrong with what you think is humorous, and therefore there is intent in what happened. This is where not being racist and being an anti-racist are very important differences. Very. It is very different being not racist and anti-racist. Not racist is trying to do things that don't appear to be racist, and you are just treading a line in order to not be perceived as a racist. Being an anti-racist means that you actively work against the things that exist in your life and your thought process and the way that people around you think and the way that the broader society works to make sure that nobody is doing anything racist, and if they do, they are willing to be educated so that they are not racist in the future. So, when you think a picture like this is funny and worth sharing with other people, guess what? That is pretty fucking racist. I'm sorry, I don't make the rules, I just play them. And if you don't agree with me, you can PJ Salt in the chat, and then I can kick you the fuck out. Hard line. Hard line. If you don't agree with me, you can get out of my chat. I will not fucking budge on this. In my chat, if you think this picture is funny, you're racist. Now, being a racist doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. We all have racial biases. I have racial biases. We all have them. The difference is how we tackle those biases in our everyday life. And so, we cannot say that this was an unintentional action, because it was not. But let's move on. What in praise Bast, what does educated and warned mean? Just help me. Someone from on high explain to me what educated means. No, education does not mean nothing. I'm sure that they have something in mind, but in the context of reading this document, it literally means nothing because we don't know what it means. We are not privy to that information, and whether or not they feel that we should be privy to that information, I will tell you from somebody who has currently lived through the Me Too movement that's been going on in esports and gaming, that any fucking thing worth its salt would have said, we are working with the person to make sure they understand why this is a problem. We are hiring an outside person to help guide us in this thing. Yeah, no, they have no diversity consultant, no inclusivity officer, no D&I officer. Yeah, no. It's benign the point. As much as I memed on Twitter the other day about how important, how wouldn't it be great if there was a judge or former judge who's a professional diversity inclusion consultant. Okay, that's a conversation for a different day, Autumn. But that's besides the point. The point is, what does educated mean? And this whole sentence is actually the crux of the entire problem with this post. So David, I'm going to be real. Judge program roughly has, somebody tell me again? Somebody did the math for me. How many people are in the judge program? I'll wait, because it's actually really important to my statement. A lot. Thank you. No, 2K is for the Discord. That's not necessarily... Let's say let's say, actually, let's use 2K, right? Like, let's say they lost 2/3 of their judges because they kind of did lose a lot of judges officially because of the fact that certain regions lost their judgeness. So let's just ballpark say, are we okay with me saying 2,500 judges, just like for sake of argument? We cool with that? We just saying 2.5K? Cool. How are they going to do diversity and inclusion training for 2,500 people? Right? But do you see where the I'm sorry for people potentially watching the VOD. I'm reading the chat. Not annoyed or anything, but chat. You see how you folks can't come to like a singular conclusion, right? Are we're all like on that same baseline? That like none of you are like sure that like I'll put it this way. Kappa Prides in the chat if you think whatever they come up with is going to be useful in any sort of way. Kappa Prides. I'm actually going to wait for this one. Kappa Prides if you legit have any faith in their education platform for this. Okay. Actually, because I know that there's some OGs in this chat, people who have known me for a minute. Have any of you been to my Creating Safer Spaces seminar in the 3 years that I did it? I think Higgins, you were at one of them, and I think David might have been. Right? Ray, were you at one of my... I feel like you were, Higgins, but like I'm not as 100% sure. But I feel like maybe none of you were in this chat. All right, cool. No, I've never been to the Great Lakes area. Oh, that's really cool, Ray. I mean, there's not a lot of people. I don't think. David, you haven't. All right, cool. So I used to do. Probably heard about this on Twitter from me talking about it. I used to do a Creating Safer Spaces judge seminar. I tended to have quite a few people involved. The first time I ever did it, which I take as a point of pride, I had more people at my seminar than people at the replacement effects seminar that was happening at the same time. And we all know how much judges love replacement effects. So, kind of tells you a thing. During that seminar, over the years, I've always dealt with people who are literally there to argue with me. And this is true of like diversity and inclusion training, regardless. When I was a safe space trainer at SUNY Albany, we would have people at seminars that were only there because the department made people go. And people would argue, would nitpick. There's no way to do a video and Q&A multiple choice thing that will fully be as impactful Yeah, Higgins and Autumn have kind of said what I'm about to say. This is already really complicated if this didn't happen, right? This is exasperated by the fact that we're in a COVID situation. Large judge conferences are not going to be a thing. Large trainings don't always work. There's just a lot of ways where this is not going to go very well, and it's not actually going to solve any of the problems. Again, diversity and inclusion training is important, and it should happen. D&I training is fucking wild and sucky, and it only works if people want to learn. Yeah, all D&I training. So, workplace harassment, D&I, all of that type of stuff. It only works if people want it to work. And I'm not going to say that every judge is bad, but there are quite a few bad apples. And there are also a bunch of people who don't understand because they think that they are not racist instead of anti-racist, that jokes, things of that nature, are not bad until somebody tells them they're bad. And so, what? People watch the seminar and they're like cured of being an asshole? No. Is it like a legal ground they're trying to like be on? Of like, well, I did this legally, and so now we have better grounds to fire people or remove their judgeship? You have the code of conduct for that. You have a bunch of other paperwork people sign, right? Like, you already have that. This is why I have a problem with it. You can't educate people. This is going to be long-term Let me rephrase. You can educate people. You cannot meaningfully educate somebody to be anti-racist, not misogynistic, not transphobic, not homophobic, and to actively work against biases in a webinar. You cannot. The only people who will learn anything from those webinars are people who are probably already inclined and are looking for how to be better about it, or people who were probably already inclined to not be anti-racist and all the other things I just said, and now that they've watched the webinar, they now feel, nope, you cannot educate people of a webinar. Not on this. Just nope, just you cannot. You cannot. You can teach them some things, but teaching and education are very different things. This might seem like semantics, but they are wildly different things. And I know Koopa Trooper is a teacher also, so I think Koopa Troopa, I think you understand what I mean when I say there's a difference between teaching somebody something and educating them. I don't really feel like going into the nuance. I hope that y'all folks understand the difference between teaching and education. But yeah, well, hold on. Let me read what Defet has to say. What if it were framed more as an obligation on judges to be anti-racist as part of their judge duties? Would that help them take it more seriously? Nope. Because you're... Oh boy. Jesus. How do I explain that? Alright. Chat, I need to take a drink. Logo out. 9-pin. Light cider. Cucumber lime edition. Alright. Let's tackle that. So, why does first of all, a lot of the IPG and the code of conduct of being a judge should already be promoting people to be anti-racist. Judges who are in the chat, I know that there's quite a few of you. I'd like to think, I think like a third of my chat right now, based on the people who are talking, are judges, agreed, right, that the IPG and the code of conduct of the Judge Academy and the IPG of the Magic the Gathering tournament rules already should be promoting judges to be anti-racist. Agreed? Are we operating on the same playing field? Because I can't move further past this point if like we don't agree on this specific baseline. I'm not saying that it explicitly says it, Autumn. I'm saying that the combination of the two already kind of promotes you to being anti-racist. All right, cool. So we're all operating on this baseline that between being somebody who enforces the IPG and somebody, oh wait, what is the real regular document called again? The jar, right? Does the jar still exist? Is the jar still a real thing? Okay. The jar is still a real thing. So between the jar, the IPG, and the code of conduct, there is this overall implication that as a judge, you should be anti-racist. Not racist, anti-racist. And the reason for this is that being anti-racist means that not only do you tackle your own biases and try to improve, but that you are actively working against racist things in society. And so, by enforcing the IPG in the jar, and by following the code of conduct, we pull back, and we are at least trying to be anti-racists, if we're actually trying to be a real judge. So, saying it out loud that, hey, you have to be an anti-racist to be a judge, like, shit, fam. If that, like, wasn't already your intention, I don't know. Like, I'm sorry to be maybe a little over dramatic, but like, I really don't know if you have to be told. All right, good night, Cooper Tooper. Thank you for coming through. If you have to be told that you have to be anti-racist to be a judge, with all the other things that are in place, yeah, I get that, like, the logic may not be transparent. Like, you may not think actively that following the code of conduct and enforcing the jar and the IPG makes you an anti-racist. But just the actions of doing it makes you one. Not like a great one. I'm not saying like you're like the best anti-racist in the world, but at least in the realm of Magic, you're like a pretty good anti-racist. You're like 6 out of 10 acceptable. You're better than like the average like LA police officer, alright? Set the bar really low for you, but a Magic judge following the IPG, code of conduct, and the jar is like better at being an anti-racist than like the average US police officer. Boom, said it. By the way, Amanda Stevens says ACAB. Trans rights are human rights also, if you guys didn't know that already. JJ, I know, I'm saying some wild stuff. Angel Grace, you're right. I did set an extremely low bar. But guess what? You can still trip over a low bar. Don't tell me you've never tripped over like a pebble. Right? There has been a moment in your life that like a crack, a pebble, you know, the curb didn't trip you up. Yes, you can still. This is a fact. Unless. Man, chat. I hope you guys have been. I hope you folks have been having fun. I hope I have like made this entertaining as well as like educational. I try really hard. Hey, chat. I don't want to go to that Discord. So if somebody could just like, I don't know, copy, screenshot it, put into my Discord, so that like I could just see it, that would be lit. I don't want to go there. That takes effort. I'm not about effort right now. Yo, Autumn with like Autumn, you're the best. Oh wait, I gotta make Autumn not just a swollicorn in the Discord. Autumn can be noblesse oblige. David, I've seen you on Facebook. That is why. I had a feeling I recognized your face. I've seen you on Facebook. But I guess that's like a judge thing in the US that like we probably have seen each other. We've probably seen all of us on Facebook already. Alright, chat, I'm gonna go look at these rules. Oh god, it's a paste bin? Fuck. Hold on. Hold on. What isn't... How did they fuck up further? I'm so demoralized right now. You know, some people have been like personally asking me if they should like stay judges because like out of like morality issues based on like how the judge program has been acting over the past couple of years. Also this current situation. Yo, nah fam, this ain't it. This is pretty bad. It's yikes for me. Sorry, I have to think about this. Oh, let me finish this document real quick. Nifet, have I covered why this document is bad now? Have I hit all the earmarks? Hopefully I've explained my reasoning. Cool. Chat, have I missed anything? Chat, does anybody feel like I've like not hit anything in this document? Can I close this tab? Because I'm like over it. But this is an educational stream, so I'm not just gonna like move on because I'm tired. I'm gonna teach the class. I'm gonna educate the class. So can I close this tab? We good? We Kappa Pride? Cool. I'm gonna close this shit. All right. Lordy. This paste bin. What does be civil mean? This is a non-rule set. I'm not gonna... I don't know if you're memeing, TG, but, I'm not gonna recap a 2-hour stream. Okay. Whew. Again, social contracts, digital space. Don't always know... if you could just like /s for me, mild, not... I'm not always great with reading. Like if it was Autumn or like Nifit, I'd probably know that was a joke because I've like chatted with them. I don't know everybody, so I wouldn't know. I'm not really trying to harp on you, just trying to like set a example in general. Just like, hey, help me out here because I'm very smooth brain at times. All right, there's not a whole lot of wrinkles up here. Lord, all right, I'm gonna be real. We're gonna do the exclamation Discord to get the Discord link. If anybody wants to ask me specifically about this paste bin, you can. Yeah, I'll be real with you, TG. I deal with debate me bros on a regular basis because I work in diversity and inclusivity. I'm also an out trans woman of color and a lesbian. So like I deal with people that like genuinely mean that at times. So it's right. And like I said, I'm not trying to make this about you. You're probably a wonderful individual, and I hope you're having a very blessed evening. And I'm so glad that you're here to join us in this conversation. But it's just a fact. Autumn, do you need a food break? Do I need to equip somebody else with a sword temporarily for you? Does somebody else need a sword? Nope, you're fine? Cool. Like, I just, like, pass the sword around. It's like the talking stick. Also, thank you, Nightbot. If you love what I do, if y'all could support my Patreon, I've lost $110 on Patreon lately. That would be sick. That would be dope. Basically, my Patreon allows me to do stuff like this because contracts are few and far between, and I have bills to pay, mouths to feed, my mouth and my cat's mouth. Is my cat even here? My cat's not here. I don't know where she is. Anyway, is there anybody who wants to join me to ask about the paste bin, or are we kind of like, hold up? I haven't. It is currently inactive, but yes, I do. Bye, Autumn. Go do homework. Don't use me as an excuse for not doing your classes. I will not be accountable for the delinquency of the youth. But I also have been talking for like 2 hours. So I will be done with talking about Judge Academy stuff. If you have a question that, bye Nifet, I enjoy your company. I'm glad that you got to be a part of this. Chat. If you what do we have? We're at like, all right, cool. Yeah, no, I'm not. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you. Yo, donation. I can't read that because I'm blind. But you know how I will know what the donation is? Yo, I'm so good at this. Yo, we got a bunch of new patrons. Let's go. Oh my god, I love all of you equally. You're all amazing. Even the non-patrons, you're all fucking dope. I really appreciate it so much. So the reason I shared the Discord is not just because I want more people in the Discord. I'm going to open up the next half hour to questions. So if you have a question that you would like to ask me, you can hop into the call-in part one at a time, please. So if any of you want to, you can ask me about literally anything. Transness, anime, video games, EDH, all of that stuff. 30 minutes, I will take any open callers. So you can hop in, and you know, maybe I'll make this a weekly thing, where like I will do these like just chatting streams because I like talking about stuff. Are you calling it Autumn? Let's go. What up? You're muted. Chat, Autumn doesn't know how to use technology. Fails at being a Zoomer.
Did I just fail at being a Zoomer?
Yeah. Oh, I can hear you now. What's up, Autumn? What do you want to ask?
What's your favorite sports anime? 10 tweet.
Okay. My favorite sports anime of all time. Alright, so I have two. First is Ping Pong, the animation. If you haven't seen Ping Pong, the animation, you are not a real anime fan. And the other answer is iShield 21. iShield 21 is like one of my favorite animes of all time. Just love the manga, love the anime. Really cool factoid, some of you might have already known this, but the mangaka for iShield 21 does both One Punch Man. Yeah, it does One Punch Man for one. Because he was such a fan of the webcomic and he thought that it would become a popular manga if it was like drawn well. So he offered to like redraw the series. So yeah, and then Ping Pong the animation, hyper stylized, and just good times. It's got great music, really good plot. Zach Dubin, what's up? So yeah, thank you for your question, caller.
Thank you. I love you a lot.
I love
You're
you
the
too.
best.
Anybody else in the chat want to pop in, ask me a question? In the future, there'll probably be like a lobby, and then I'll have like a Discord mod, like pull people in and out to make my life easier. But for right now, if any of you have any questions about anything, literally anything, hop into the chat. Taking callers. I feel like a cool person right now. It's totally stroking my ego and making me feel like a radio host. Oh, I don't have any music right now. Did that YouTube video finish? Oh wow, that YouTube video was only like 20 minutes. If y'all have any questions, I can call this a stream now. But I was just willing to you know, hang out with y'all a little bit longer. Sure, call in.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going? Wow, you have probably a better voice for radio than I do.
I actually did do college radio a while back. Fun fact.
Awesome. What's up? How you doing?
Hey, first time listener, first time caller. Thought I'd, get your opinion. We heard you about the sports anime, but what about not sports anime?
All right, so chat. I'm about to out myself as like a really aggressive weeb. Enzer knows this about me, one of my mods and longtime friends, and best man for my upcoming wedding. I watch a lot of anime.
Congrats.
And unacceptable amount of anime. Let me see how I can get to it. Anime Plant, the site that me and Enzo use, is messing up big time. So I'm gonna drop this link in the chat, and you will see that I have watched, and this is not fully updated. I have watched 631 animes. I am watching 15. That is highly incorrect. I have watched a total of 14,939 episodes. I have lifetime spent 8 months, 1 week, 3 days, 71 hours, and 41 minutes.
Wow.
Watching anime. Now, why did I bring this up? Because there's another part of this website where I have rated everything I have ever watched. From low to high. Everything.
Oh my god.
I've quite literally rated everything I've watched. Ever. But with that said, let's give you my top 5 anime of all time. Starting with number 5, Ping Pong, the animation. Number 4, Kisniver. Number 3 would be, number 3, Angel Beats. Number 2, Kids on a Slope. Number 1 is Wandering Sun. I think that it lacks a lot of the nuance that the manga had, but Wandering Sun is a great way, if you're wondering what it's like to be a trans youth. I think Wandering Sun is a great look into the way children think about gender. It's pretty great, but that is my top 5 anime of all time. And also, you now know how terrible, how much of a weeb I am. Just unapologetic.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm also a pretty big weeb. I am created a college anime club.
So did I with Enzer.
Oh my, nice.
When we were in
I
college,
literally
way back when. The Japanese anime manga club.
I cheated. I just called the anime club Genshiken.
Nerd.
And the best part about that was that literally no one else in the school knew how to spell it. So for like activity fairs, my personal favorite misspelling was when they spelled it gun chicken. And I still actually have
I'm
that.
calling you Gun Chicken from now on. I hope you realize that.
Absolutely.
I'm not
That's
learning your
perfectly
name.
fine.
I'm just calling you Gun Chicken. that is how we do things today.
I love it. Anyway,
Chat,
thank you so much.
Chat, the more that I do this, the more that you all will end up with nicknames. That is a promise.
Perfect. I'm glad I showed up.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
All right. So Angel of Grace has a question. I'm building a green-white. Are you building my legendary unicorn bay? Are you building my legendary unicorn? Are you building a meal? You are, aren't you? You are. Do you have any pet cards in those colors? The ETB archetype you can suggest. Loaming Shaman, I think. Later Autumn. Loaming Shaman, I think is just superb. I think it's a pretty great anti-graveyard tech. I should really get a MTG bot. I will do that for future streams. So Loaming Shaman, I believe, is a Centaur for 2 and a green from Original Ravnica. Thank you for the follow. And Loaming Shaman is a 3/2 Centaur Shaman that says when Loaming Shaman enters the battlefield, target player shuffles any number of target cards from their graveyard into their library. This is great anti-graveyard tech. And I love it. I think that it's not played enough. And I think one of the reasons that's true is because he doesn't have flash, so you can't necessarily play it reactionarily. But in a deck where you can blink your creatures, I think he is just superb. Who else is really fun in green white? I have my own Emil build that I haven't finished. So let me just pull up the secret document real quick. Oh, my roommate is cooking and now I'm hungry again. I mean, you can't go wrong with like Charming Prince, Acidic Slime. I mean, Charming Prince isn't really a pet card. I think a lot of people are on the Charming Prince hype, but I just love Charming Prince. I'm trying to think of like nifty ETB creatures that I play that like other people might not. Loaming Shaman's really up there. Knight of Autumn is real good. I like a lot of Swiss Army cards. So I think Fertilid would probably be kind of cool in that deck because you could reset the counters. You could run the creature Harrow. I think that's actually really cool tech in that deck. Yeah, those are like my real like quick answers. Cool. We have another question. I wish there were more modal ETBs. There are some, but a lot of them require like kicker. There is Brutalizer Exarch. The white Exarch's pretty garbage, but Brutalizer Exarch's actually really good. And that is modal, because you can pick one or the other of the two abilities. Do you randomize seeding with your playgroups? If you don't, is it antisocial to play Anaz the Gale Force, who hoses? So nobody plays that card in my playgroup yet. We've all everybody's kind of like talked about wanting to play it, but nobody has yet. No, we all kind of have our preferred seat. I sit at what we relatively refer to as the head of the table. It's not actually the head of the table, but it is. We've kind of all agreed. Like my playgroup memes and calls it the head of the table, or the unicorn chair. So I'm a big fan of. I mean, it would only matter. I think I would randomize or get people to move if somebody was playing that deck multiple times in a row. If that makes sense. I think the first time, meh, whatever, happens. TG asks, have you ever been into any other card game than Magic? Not for like any real significant amount of time. I played like Yu-Gi-Oh for like the first 3 years that existed, but I was never like super serious about it. I just kind of played it. I was like kind of into Force of Will when everybody was into Force of Will, but not like the be all to end all. It wasn't like a game that I like invested super heavily into. The only card game that I'm super into is DC deck building. I own pretty much all of the cards for that. I've built my own custom set, not with custom cards, but I've taken all of the cards that exist for the game, and I've built my own base game for it. And a lot of my friends who have played it love it a lot. I've had people who have said that they hated DC deck building, but then they played My Cube and fell in love with the game. So that's the only other card game that I've played for a very long time. I was really into the Legends of Runeterra beta because one of my friends works on that game for Riot, and they knew that I was a big card game player, and I was in the beta, and I was super into it. But like a lot of card game betas, you then lose your entire collection, and that kind of demotivated me to keep playing. So I haven't played in a very long time. But now that I have it on my phone, I think I will start playing it a lot more again, because I've been spending a lot less time at my desk because my carpal tunnel has been really bad. I might be getting surgery in January for it. So I haven't been playing a lot of games in general because I haven't been at my desk. But I have a pretty nice phone, so I will probably start playing Runeterra on my phone. I will open it up to 2 more questions. You don't have to call in. You can just put in the chat. And then I'm going to order some food with your lovely donation money. What are your favorite color combos for Commander, and who is your favorite Commander? So, wait, is this the right arm? Nope, that is not the right arm. What's that? Chat, what's that? Chat, I'm real smooth brain. What is that? What is this? Does anybody recognize this? So, it's pretty. I am a huge Simic mage. I've been a big fan of blue, green, and magic since I've been playing, which is since '93. Just always have been a big fan of blue and green. Give me some Lantern War Elves and some counter spells, and I'm pretty fucking happy. What else? So I only have currently one specifically Simic deck. It is my Rashmi Eternity Crafter deck, and it is actually a Recycle Laboratory Maniac deck. If you go to the Discord, there's 2 pinned tweets in the Magic section, 2 pinned messages. They're most of my commander lists. I believe Rashmi is listed in the Discord. It is. Cool. So I can just pull it up for you all. Boom. I believe that this list is mostly up to date. I play with a wish board. If you folks don't believe in a wish board, you can't play with me because I love this deck and I use a wish board. This is not my favorite deck. This is just like sort of very emblematic of how I like to play Commander. I like to play combo. I like to play with a lot of synergy. I definitely like to play blue and green. My favorite Commander deck right now, though, because I build a lot of decks, I think currently my favorite deck would have to be my Kenrith deck, which I believe is also in the Discord. He's not. He's not. Whoops. Let me pull that up for y'all real quick. Kenrith. I actually don't remember what I named my Kenrith deck. Crap. Wait. There we go. This is not completely up to date. Remove Dranith Magistrate and replace it with the Teferi uncommon enchantment from M21 that mills cards. I cut Dranith because my playgroup is not really fond of that card. I have it in some other of my white decks. This deck is already kind of oppressive, so my playgroup requested that I remove a little bit of the oppression in the deck, and the answer was to remove Dranith Magistrate. This is my favorite currently commander deck. My favorite commander deck of all time is my Damia Sage of Stone deck. It is a Palinchron combo deck that is designed to win by turn 5 fairly regularly in a 4-person playgroup. I don't play it as much anymore because, again, my playgroup is a little tired of losing to the same deck over and over again. So that is the answer to that question, is that my favorite deck of all time would be my Damia Sage of Stone deck, and my favorite current deck would be my Kedrith deck, and then my favorite colors in Magic are blue and green. My favorite tricolor is Sultai. My favorite guild is Simic, and my favorite color is green. Boom, 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 boom. Is this Damia list even up to date? Based on the price point, I'm going to assume yes. So yeah, that answers that question. I love those type of questions, but you can only answer it so many times. Like, people will eventually, like, you'll get asked that a lot as a Magic adjacent person, and so it sometimes feels like you answer that question a lot. I actually really like the tone for my notifications on my stream. Enzo, I figured out how to fix it, and it's the best thing ever. It's not blowing up my eardrum all the time. I'm so glad. I was streaming one of my favorite video games the other day, and it was when I had installed the alert notification, and it was like... I didn't have that many people watching the stream, like way less than I currently have now, and I like could not accurately play the game. But yeah, if nobody has any other questions, I greatly appreciate all of you. I think you're all really amazing individuals. I hope that you all have a blessed evening. What am I going to order? Probably some form of pizza, because a lot of the places closed pretty early because of COVID in my area. I'm just trying to find a really cool person to send you all to. I'm trying to see if like any of my friends. Ooh, I just type /raid, right, and then like the person's channel, right? That's how that works. Enzer, you're coming over. You're coming to Troy this weekend, and I'm getting you I'm getting you KBBQ. So chat, if y'all can at least do me a favor, I'm gonna raid my friend Amber. If y'all could throw Kappa Prides and Purple Hearts, and just tell her that Amanda says she's amazing, I'd love all of you. Thank you so much. Good night.